Hello, this is Virtualis, the chess noob, learning and having fun with chess. When I was a university student, I bought a second-hand PlayStation 1. And one of the things I did back then was that I did buy some chess games. Now, the PlayStation 1 had a few chess engines, a few chess programs, the best known of which is probably Chess Master 2. However, was it the best? Was it the best to play, particularly with modern sensibilities? The great thing now with PlayStation games is that you can potentially play it on one of these. So this is a Anbernic RG351V, so basically a retro handheld. You can play PlayStation 1 games on it quite well. You can emulate it very easily on your computer. I'm going to be recording these videos on the DuckStation emulator on my PC. Let's take a look. So the first game I'm going to look at is Chess Master 3D. So Chess Master 3D actually used the original Chess Master engine. So this was released on Amiga, PC, even the Game Boy. I've made a previous review of that. In the PlayStation version, it uses the same engine, but they sort of crafted it onto a 3D engine. I have to admit, this is not my favorite version of chess, but let's take a look. This is sort of early days of the PlayStation. So we had the boot logo. Now we're loading the Chess Master. You can see this looks very, very much like the type of graphics you might expect from sort of the early era. So let's go to start. And you will notice that, it's not the most polished or smoothest of games. Like the graphics, it's a bit clunky. The 3D is pretty rudimentary. And look at that sort of choppiness. The PlayStation can run at 60 frames per second, but this is nowhere close to that. The thing that I think lets down this version, and actually all Chess Master versions for the PlayStation, is that I think it uses the user interface presuming that you have a mouse, and of course you don't have a mouse on the PlayStation. So the directional keypad requires you to try to select a piece and then move it, and it's actually not that easy. Sometimes you can have a situation where you end up just selecting the wrong piece, and it's really quite annoying. Alright, so opponent plays the Caro-Kann defense. Yep. There we go. Let's play the knight. They take. So let's play the von Hennig gambit. And one of the things here is that it's difficult to select that square for the bishop to go. I have to get that center bit, into the square. It's just a bit annoying. It's not very polished. Yeah, okay. I think that's a pretty good move by black. There we go. So you can see I sort of thought I selected the right square, but it didn't click effectively. Yeah. So look, it's an okay game, but probably not one that I would recommend continuing to play. Let's go look at the next one. I'm going to have a look at Chess Master 2, probably the most popular chess game on the PlayStation. Alright, so the Chess Master 2 is definitely a more polished production by the people who make Chess Master. And you will see, the music is definitely quite a bit better. You can see just the smoothness of the video. They've upped their game a little bit in terms of production values. The quote from Tarakawa. Okay, so start Chess Master 2, and I would say the Chess Master 2 is okay to play. It still has a disadvantage in that it still presumes, in terms of the user interface, that you're using a mouse. And I actually just find that a little bit annoying on the PlayStation, see, because selecting pieces can sometimes be a little bit little bit challenging. However, definitely a more see, you can see, I selected a few wrong pieces there, but definitely a more polished result. Oh, another Caro-Kann. Interesting.
D4, D5.
Now, I would say that Chess Master 2 is definitely worth, buying for
C3,
collector's
D
value.
takes E4.
It's not a bad game. The music is definitely quite a bit nicer than, that slightly bombastic music from
C4,
Chess Master
Bishop
3D.
F5.
Oh, it's playing exactly the same line. As that's very interesting. I wonder if they're using an
F3.
opening book. Probably are. Yeah, so you can see
F6.
definitely more polished product. I'm now going to show you a third chess game, which I actually think is the best out of the chess games on the PlayStation, and one that is still perfectly fine to play today, particularly on a retro handheld. So this is Just Called Chess, released in North America, just straight up called Chess, so they grabbed a good name for a PlayStation game. And this game is, I think, much better optimized for the PlayStation architecture. Runs at a pretty much smooth 60 FPS, 60 frames per second throughout. And, chess is hardly a graphical powerhouse, so it really should run at 60 FPS. It's got sort of cool, sort of jazzy sort of music. And one of the things about this version of chess is that it sort of follows uses some of the ideas we would follow now when you're playing against a computer, which is that you're playing against chess personalities, so bots with personalities. Now, who knows whether or not they really have their own personality, but it just feels nice. It allows us to anthropomorphize our opponent rather than just playing, the titular chess master who's really just a computer. So let's play against their lowest bot, which is a little girl. So, if you lose, you're losing against a child. There we are. Yeah. I've only played it. This is a little bit like the chess.com bots, isn't it? And here you can see, it's a board. You can easily, just snap to the particular square, which makes selecting pieces just so much easier, so much faster. And you can see, how much more quickly the game can run. Ooh, a French defense. Okay.
D4. D5.
Yep. And, I think the voices are a little bit less grating than Chess Master 2.
Knight. D3. Bishop. E4.
Mm-hmm. What if we... Actually, no, maybe I'll push.
E5. Knight. E7.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop. E2. Castle king kite.
Castles, yeah.
A3. Bishop. Takes. E3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's nice and easy to play. And particularly, optimized for a controller, really quite nice to play. And, the music is not bad too. Sort of relaxing, fairly chill.
3. Knight. Takes.
Mm-hmm.
E4.
Yeah. It's just from a user interface perspective so much more pleasant than Chess Master. That's an interesting move. Now, I probably won't continue to play here, but I hope you've enjoyed, these quick review of these old PlayStation chess engines.